According to the Tax Justice Network, the Financial Secrecy Index is based on International Monetary Fund methodology and data, and is periodically updated in line with the evolving financial secrecy landscape. In response to GBC questions, the Tax Justice Network said the reason for Gibraltar's rise on the index is due to a significant increase in its global scale weight, a measure of the volume of financial activity conducted in the jurisdiction by non-residents. It said this in itself is not a good or bad thing, but as Gibraltar now has greater influence as a jurisdiction and still has a number of negative scores on secrecy, it has offset recent improvements in transparency on beneficial ownership registration. A spokesperson said the ranking reflects a combination of secrecy and scale. The more financial activity a jurisdiction facilitates, the greater responsibility it has to safeguard against financial secrecy. Gibraltar scored exceptionally badly on 12 indicators, including public company ownership and accounts, avoiding promoting tax evasion, and trust and foundations register. It was, however, found to have achieved full compliance on agreeing bilateral treaties, and also scored well on automatic information exchange. In response to GBC questions, a government spokesperson said Gibraltar complies with all global standards, including both the OECD and EU measures on spontaneous, requested, and automatic exchange of information. They added Gibraltar adheres to the latest anti-money laundering standards and has also transposed legislation on base erosion profit shifting, as well as being part of the OECD framework on this. Gibraltar says the government is at the forefront of transparency and global standards in this field. The Financial Secrecy Index is topped by British overseas territory, the Cayman Islands, which have overtaken Switzerland for the first time and which have been added to the EU's tax haven blacklist this week. The Tax Justice Network said the UK would top the list if it were treated as one entity along with its entire spider's web of overseas territories and Crown dependencies. It added the UK's secrecy score had increased after it failed to keep up with methodological updates to the Financial Secrecy Index, and due to changes in the UK's country-by-country reporting requirements. The Tax Justice Network said the UK's progress on tackling financial secrecy has been thrown into reverse, adding this raises serious concerns about the UK's post-Brexit strategy. However, a spokesperson for the UK's Treasury Department is quoted in the international press as saying it does not recognise the basis for the Tax Justice Network's assessment, adding the UK will continue to be at the forefront of the global drive for greater tax transparency.